Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast That Wouldn't Die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool would give up a chance for a 30% discount.
Secrets between father and son, except one.
You have a talent that would shock the hell out of people, but it's a talent that also can be put to good use.
For lovers of the shocking, the suspenseful, and the terrifying comes a new classic, The Fury.
Read my mind. Look, I don't know anything about reading minds, all right?
The Fury. An experience in terror and suspense.
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast That Wouldn't Die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
Hello, people. Hello,
this
my
week,
fans.
Say it a few more times. This week, we're discussing the science fiction horror classic, The Fury, starring Kirk Douglas, Andrew Stevens, Amy Irving, Charles Durning, John Cassavetes. For God's sake,
it's an all-star cast, mother effer.
It's shocking, and it's Brian De Palma, which I didn't even know walking into this, which is shocking on that account as well.
It really confirms my thoughts about Brian De Palma. Let's just say that.
Let's just say that as well. I have thoughts on his directing style, which I never thought I would say after watching this movie. We're going to get into that. Sweet Jesus.
Did he also write it? Because this is a classic fueled by cocaine bullshit nonsense.
Based on a novel. Boom.
Based on a novel.
And this was his follow-up.
The novel is more coherent.
Evidently more upsetting. So there you go. How about that? We can talk about that.
That would imply this was upsetting in some way. That would imply some kind of an emotion other than the feeling like I'm not going to be able to keep my eyes open. And then, bloop, I guess I fell asleep.
Now you're living my life. That's how I do it on the regular. No question.
Dude, I don't normally get the narcolepsy, but I was like, oh, shit. Because I'm like, it's an all-star cast. This is a classic from my youth, you know. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to remember. I don't remember really watching it, but I must have. I mean, there were some hints that I had seen this before, but I must have blocked it all out.
Well, what's crazy about this also is the fact that this was De Palma's follow-up to Carrie. So a movie already dealing with a kid with psychic powers shifts right into another movie with kids with psychic powers. Ridiculous.
And Amy Irving. Was he banging Amy Irving?
No, he wasn't. But I think I told you the story when he was filming Carrie. There's all those scenes with like the teenage girls, and he called his buddy Steven Spielberg. He's like, "Come on by and check out all these chicks."
Check out all the girls.
Check it out. And Spielberg met Amy Irving and married her. And they were married for like 5 years or something after this. So,
which is not very long.
Not very long, 100%. That's neither here nor there. What's up with you, Aaron? What's the latest?
Just living my life. Just came back from an old person cruise, paid for by my parents. God bless America. And they didn't even go on it. But it was still awesome. I'm still trying to recover because the older I get, the worse time change works with me. It's a horror.
I understand. But you're a jet setter, Aaron. You're used to all this jet lag. Yeah. You laugh that off. Not anymore.
Dude, I think this whole work thing really interferes with that. So
It
let's cross
does.
our fingers on the lottery. Then I can just travel and never worry about jet lag.
Fair.
I just won't ever change time. I'll just live my life, wake up, do whatever I want. If it's 5 in
That
the morning, I'll get up.
and if it's noon,
I
may
had
sleep
friends
in.
who went to Japan and they just didn't adjust. They just kept their time. Like if they woke up at 4, there's always a 24-hour ramen place. They just put on their clothes and went to Tokyo.
But don't you want to visit like places that are up during normal business hours, or is it just the
I
red
guess
light
you
district?
see those in the morning before you like crash out again. The main
Fair.
cafes.
Fair. Like you live the vampire life, is what you're saying. Sweet Jesus.
Nosferatu.
Indeed.
I saw a kid in my class today whose fingernails were about as long as when I used to have fake nails. I said, "You are Count Orlok, little man. People pay to have nails that long."
And he nodded in knowing recognition. I have to tell you,
He's like, Miss D's crazy.
I was flipping through Tubi like I do because it might be my favorite app now for
Streaming
watching
service.
movies.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
It has
And
everything.
I was flipping and I'm like, is that Miami Vice? I see. I might have to I haven't seen this show in 100 years. You got to remember, I was too young to watch Miami Vice back in the day. I didn't watch any of those kind of like cop dramas or whatever because I was like 4.
was slick as
I was
shit.
not that young.
It was
I was like 9.
slick.
But
It was like an MTV music video.
100%. And I'm at least 15 years older than Don Johnson was, while in his heyday on Miami Vice. So I'm into
That's
it.
when I was in college, so it was tight.
I was elementary school. He was first of all, the music kicks in, and I'm like in. I am so in on the Miami Vice theme song. If you haven't seen it, guys, you got to check it out. With like it's like panning out over Miami, and there's people on jet skis, and here's the horse track, and all sorts of highlight, all sorts of stuff going on in Miami. What I found is that number one, you have Sonny Crockett, played by Don Johnson, who basically changed fashion in the 80s. It was all pastels and shoes with no socks and a little scruff, which I appreciated. Dynamite.
And a t-shirt with a suit.
T-shirt and a sleeveless tee half the time. He's like pulling off his
it's Miami.
It is Miami. And his partner, and I always felt bad, his partner's name is Tubbs, which I'm like, that is the shittiest name. You got Sonny Crockett, which is a cool name. Then you guys partners Rico Tubbs. That must have been an attack.
But I gotta tell you, he was
Please.
beautiful. Mr. Tubbs was beautiful even with that
100%.
name. That was not gonna hold him back.
100%. Like arguably more handsome than Don Johnson, if we're being honest. You know what I'm saying? He's wearing his Hugo Boss suits. He had his shirt. His shirt was never buttoned above his his navel. Essentially, full like chest hair and a medallion hanging down, doing his thing.
Dude,
dynamite.
It's like Scarface all over again.
100%. I'm on episode 7. By the way, I'm on episode 7. Scarface is dynamite, and I hate you for saying the other. Go ahead.
I hate that. I'm psychologically scarred with the chainsaw. His acting was ridiculous.
Fair, and offensive. Some would argue.
Fair
but
and
in the first 6 episodes or 7 episodes of Miami Vice, I got Jimmy Smits blown up by a car bomb, Ed O'Neill playing a crooked federal agent. Bruce Willis as a gangster. Like it was like bang, bang, bang. All these dudes coming out.
I remember when Phil Collins showed up on a cameo, and they're like, "Yo, Philly." That's how they referred to him. He was like, Phil Collins is the size of a postage stamp. And
100%.
these fellas were no giants, and he was looking up to him. And I remember we laughed and laughed. Yo, Philly.
Well, and here's what I'm realizing. It's like I'm used to action stars having six packs and like muscles. Don has none of that. He's got like the body of a 15-year-old boy. There's no shame in his game. Whatever. No
You don't
hair.
give a shit.
No hair on his chest. He was just totally. He was the dude. He was the dude. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So good
He
stuff.
had the vibe of the time. It didn't matter. That was not the deal. He didn't need to bring the hairy chest.
Didn't need
He
it.
was smooth like a sailor. No.
Like a sailor.
I meant to say a seal, and it just rolled right over.
Well, and he's like, there's like a crooked cop that he's dealing with going, where are you getting all this money from? I'm like, Sonny, you're driving a Ferrari and you have a $100,000 speedboat. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Exactly. I was never sure. This is his personal car, or was the police department paying for these $100,000 or $200,000 vehicles that they
Unclear.
fight crime in?
Unclear. 100%. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get our train back on the tracks, Aaron. Give us your 30-second synopsis of The Fury.
So we need to the time during this time. What was it? 78. 78. Psychic research was like at its peak, I have to say. I mean, Stephen King wrote Firestarter, psychokinesis, telekinesis. I mean, people were upset. Duke, I don't know if Duke University, but I remember they had like a postdoctorate degree in parapsychology.
Sounds fun to me.
I even had those kits that they were doing where, someone holds up a card and you're supposed to guess what it is. And oh my God, it was all the rage. I mean, if you're old enough to remember In Search Of, half of that is about that.
Leonard Nimoy.
So in that context of psychic research and ghosts and all this stuff coming out of the hippie trippiness, here comes this movie. Of course, we've always heard that the government is, getting psychics together to use as weapons. This is not the first story, nor will it be the last.
100%.
It was always Russia had warehouses full of psychics they were trying to use to channel. It was always like in Russia. Am I right or am I right?
Absolutely.
So in that context, so I guess a CIA operative son is psychic, and they were going to send him off to this private school. It was Professor X's school for gifted boys.
I was just going to say that. 100%.
And it was not good enough that he was willing to send his son away. The most important thing was to have the Israeli armed defense come through and kill his father so they could kidnap the son and send him to Professor X. Meanwhile, there's a young, small-breasted Amy Irving wandering the streets, picking up radiation symbols from Andrew Stevens, who apparently hates her. So somehow she connects with Dad. They are able to track down the boy who doesn't give a because he's crazy, tries to kill his dad. He's dead, passes on the power. She wreaks revenge. The end.
The ending of this movie is off the wall.
Oh my God.
It is. Here's the thing. It goes from kind of boring for about an hour and a half where I'm like, I thought we were going to see some psychic shit. Right. Go ahead.
Who gives a shit about his father and his father's adventures? Using shoe polish on his hair. They could have cut all that out because literally they told us nothing about what the psychic kid was happening. That we don't know anything that was going on except they showed none of that. There was some mention like They stopped giving him barbiturates because that doesn't work. And now he's just angry and he wants to burn holes in your head.
The fact that 70-year-old Kirk Douglas had to use white shoe polish to make himself look old was frickin' ridiculous. It's like, that was Kirk added that. Right?
There was too much Kirk. There was way too much Kirk.
Shirtless Kirk, running around in his chonies in Chicago. That was all his shit. He ad-libbed all that.
Not body shaming, but he had parts of his body that I'm not sure that most people have. I'm not even sure what was happening in his whole chestal stomach region. I'm like,
he thought he was Jack LaLanne or somebody. It was ridiculous. Well, okay.
He was like our grandfather with a UFL coming out, the unidentified flying lump.
That means nothing to anybody.
I don't know what's going on with that or why he. How about random father-son racing each other in matching Speedos?
And wrestling.
Really?
Wrestling on the beach.
And wrestling. It was so weirdly homoerotic. It really reminded me of when Kurt Russell. It's not Kurt Russell.
Kirk Douglas.
I keep calling him Kurt Russell. Kirk Douglas was on Seinfeld, and he's always trying to prove himself. I can whatever that one. Mandelbaum. I can pick it up. And then his father comes out, who's like 90. I can pick that up. That was literally, they must have taken that character from this movie.
Fair. Now, had you ever, I think you said this, you have never seen this before.
I feel I must have, but I've blacked it out because there were parts of it I was like, I must have seen this, but I probably rented it and then never saw it again.
I've said this before. You
said The Fury, and I was like Andrew Stevens.
100%. I feel like I saw the most terrifying movie moments, and there were clips from The Fury where the dude, Andrew Stevens, has the veins in his head and he sends the Saudis whipping around in the tilt-a-whirl at the indoor.
First of all, how could that be one of the most terrifying things in a film?
Terrifying, Aaron. Truly terrifying.
No. Yeah. No. Absolutely not. Truly terrifying. Battle of the Network Stars. Now that's terrifying.
That is terrifying. So I believe I saw The Fury within the last 10 years. But it made absolutely no impact. So watching it this time was like watching it from the beginning, like as though I'd never seen it before. So such is life. Shall we go to the highlights, Aaron?
Well, we might as well. Because otherwise I'm just going to complain. First of all, the highlights are all the celebrity cameos, including, I don't know if you caught this, Nikki from Young and the Restless.
Nikki? Did you notice Daryl Hannah?
And Daryl Hannah looking like
Shocking.
a tiny, sweet little baby. She was She looked beautiful.
Yep.
But yeah, it was like everybody either already was somebody or was about to be somebody. But this is not our first time seeing Nikki from Young and the Restless. She's been in another movie, but I can't tell you what. But
maybe Piranha? Was she in Piranha? I think she was.
Piranha! I think you're right.
I think it was something like that. She was doing like shitty movies for a long time before she got that Young and the Restless paycheck, I'm sad to say.
And she and Victor Newman are still rocking the Y and the R.
100%.
For all I know, it's the last soap opera alive. I don't even know. How about skinny Dennis Franz?
Yes, with no mustache. It was shocking.
No mustache. He was small as a pixie. But he sounds exactly the same.
Oh, 100%. Love me some Dennis Franz. If you're paying attention, there is a scene where I think it's Amy Irving and Nikki are walking along like the boardwalk or whatever. If you're paying attention, you see Jim Belushi in the background. No lines.
Oh
just an
shit!
extra.
I didn't
Yes.
see that. Oh my god. I mean, for all of that. I mean, honestly, if you were alive in the 70s or 80s, you're gonna recognize 90% of the cast.
Totally.
It's shocking.
Totally.
My notes are about the matching speedos.
Mm-hmm.
About Nikki. All right, here's a question.
Please.
I don't know if this is a standout moment. 1 minute, Andrew Stevens is flying around the room, and the next minute he can't hang on to a shelf and falls to his death.
Yes.
What are you doing now, Andrew?
That's a good question. Well, go ahead.
And why did you scratch your father's face so he drops you?
I literally had to Google this. I'm like, would you explain the ending of The Fury? Because it seems like it makes absolutely no sense.
No.
Right?
Would you be correct? Why did the room catch fire? Or is that magic fog while he's spinning his spy girlfriend around?
We have to
it
talk
becomes so dark with the
Yes.
fog that you don't even know what the hell's happening. And where's the rest of these CIA agents?
Just doing their thing. They're busy. They're busy.
I like that they were going to have a dinner party with other members of the CIA.
That's what they do in the CIA, Aaron. It's nonstop dinner parties.
It gave me like a Running Man vibe if he knew that his girlfriend was already working for the government and was still banging her.
Fair. We have to talk about this. Okay. We have to talk about, first of all, let me set this all up one more time. Kirk Douglas is a retired agent for, it's not the CIA. It's an agency called Morg, M-O-R-G, that no one's heard of. It's like a super secret.
Now there's beyond. It's they're always the 25 different secret organizations not related to the CIA that are always bouncing around.
100%. So his son, like we established, first of all, how old do you think Andrew Stevens' character is supposed to be?
When he talks, he sounds like a high schooler, but he's been working out, so he looks like he could be 28.
The character, and this is established in the book, is 14.
He's 14. That would explain the weird. He talks like a child.
He does.
He talks like a child, but he's clearly like,
right,
able to buy a house, drive a car, and
yes.
sleep with a 35-year-old woman.
Right, which makes it even creepier that they basically are controlling him via sex with a far older doctor, like Dr. whatever her name is. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a whole thing. So anyway, he has psychic powers just because he was born with them, right? It's like you said, he's an X-Man, right? There's no radiation leak. He's not kicked by a mule or falls down a well. He just has these powers. But at the beginning of the movie, he seems like a sweet kid, right?
Yes.
No problems. Very sweet kid. John Cassavetes worked with Kirk Douglas, and I guess they were friends or friend-ish. But
Dude.
Right.
Just like the French Connection. Until 100%. You're not friends no more.
So he basically sends a hit squad, we discover, to murder Kirk Douglas to take control over Andrew Stevens and his powers. Kirk Douglas survives.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever. He sent like 35 people with machine guns spraying up this whole beach in Israel. Yep. That's not going to attract any attention.
And they fail. They blow up the rubber boat that he's trying to escape in, and he escapes. He pops up and shoots John Cassavetes, so now he's got like a dead arm that he carries like he's Bob Dole or somebody, essentially. Crazy old dead arm for the rest of the movie, essentially.
Yeah.
So smash cut.
Like a giant cast. Like a giant cast, like he just broke his arm. But then they said it's been 11 months. Either way, this giant cast made no sense to me.
It's a thing.
Come on, John
Me-
Cassavetes.
Meanwhile, Amy Irving is discovering that she also has psychic powers, and when she uses them, people get nosebleeds or eye bleeds or ear bleeds, or their hand starts bleeding just as she touches them.
She's
And
got
she
the
can-
double whammy because she's got
Yes.
the Christopher Walken where she touches you. She gets to see all the horrible things that are going to happen to you.
Yep.
Not that you won the lottery, not that you get an A on your test, but that you're going to like be a murderer or some crazy shit. And she can do some scanner stuff and explode your head.
As revealed in the thrilling conclusion of this movie. So most of this movie, sadly, is Amy Irving kind of coming to grips, like she's Carrie White, essentially, coming to grips with her shit. They send her to the special school.
Yeah.
There's Charles Durning, who's kind of conflicted about it. He knows that the government is paying for their tests or whatever. And if somebody's revealed to have the powers, the government will come and take them away. So he feels kind of bad about that. So
Right.
it's that, and then it's
Not bad
old
enough not to take the money.
No, not at all. Then you also have Kirk Douglas, who's on the lam because everywhere he goes, John Cassavetes is sending murderers to kill him. He's desperately trying to track down his son. So you get that subplot as well. That's subplot. That's basically the plot, right? It's Amy Irving and it's Kirk Douglas. Not the most riveting shit you've ever heard of, if I'm being honest.
How many times did Kirk Douglas actually strike Amy Irving in a way of get a hold of her? I think he punched her in the face at one point, like after the bus.
Yes, Kirk Douglas can't find his son, so he's trying to find another psychic that he thinks can help him track down his son. So he goes and rescues Amy Irving. Like you said, Amy Irving and Andrew Stevens
He
have
knew.
Go ahead.
He already knew where his son was going to effing be. He was sending him to that school.
Right, but he was no longer at the school anymore. Right? When it was established that he truly had the psychic powers.
I would start at the school.
Well, he did. Fair. Kirk Douglas seduced a nurse that was working there to try to get the inside information, which is crazy that 75-year-old Kirk Douglas is seducing anybody at this stage of the game. Handsome guy in the 50s, late 70s, different story.
Look at Junior's the same, right?
I will say this.
Life imitates art.
Now Kirk Douglas was kind of a manly guy back in the day, right? He was in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. He was Spartacus. He was kind of a manly man. Michael Douglas, I like Michael Douglas a lot, but not so much, right? Not so much.
He was not quite as hyper masculine, but he was attractive.
He was and frankly, I think older Michael Douglas looks better than older Kirk Douglas, if I'm being honest. Older Kirk Douglas looked nuts.
Okay, Michael Douglas right now looks like the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Dark Side. So let's be clear.
Fair.
Still married to Catherine Zeta-Jones, who looks like a baby next to him.
She does. So Amy Irving wants to meet Andrew Stevens because I think on some level she wants to meet another person that's like her because she has questions and fears and anxieties. She figures if she meets him, then that'll make her feel more human or more normal or just less scared.
And then something about sending pictures to her or something. She's getting vibes. She's a receiver.
100%. So they come up with this plan to free. I mean, again, Amy Irving's not a prisoner at this place. It's just a school. Now, granted, there are government agents on the curb always watching. So the plan is the nurse will run interference and allow Amy Irving to sneak out the door, run down the street in her nightie, evidently. Because why couldn't they wait till she had clothes on? No can do. It's got to be in the nightie in broad daylight.
She was a bit of a ding dong. Well, so was Amy Irving.
100%. Kirk rescues Amy Irving, but not before the nurse lover gets hit by a car and smashes through the windshield of a parked car 20 feet away, and then she's dead. So poor Hester, she bit the dust.
With no safety glass, apparently. It was like giant just shards that all went into her face with eyeballs everywhere.
Safety glass is a new invention. Just last couple of years. Prior to that, it was just death glass.
Amy Irving held that bitch's hand just the night before and didn't pick up anything on her radar.
Fair. That's fair. You're absolutely right. It's only mean people that she gets that Christopher Walken Dead Zone thing going on. Evidently. Sweet
Not
Jesus.
the nice people who could use the warning that are trying to help you.
100%. Well, how about this? Kirk Douglas shot the driver of the car that caused him. And first of all, you get shot between the eyes. There's not that moment you're like, oh, what happened? Right? You're not going to reach up and be like, oh, something got me. You're just dead. Needless to say, he turns the wheel towards
Kirk
Hester.
Get the gun? Where did Kirk get the gun?
He had a gun earlier, right?
Yes.
He just happened to have one. But you're right.
Then he
I
had
have no
to
idea.
run through an apartment in his underwear.
Doing some acrobatic shit, right? He like jumped out the window, ran across the fire escape. He's like swinging like Tarzan on something.
Yeah.
All in his underwear. Cracking skulls, doing his thing. So good on him. So now Smash Cut, they're taking the bus to wherever the hell they're supposed to go. And he tries to ditch Amy Irving, who was like kind of leading him to the sun. And he's like, hey, I've already paid the bus driver. He'll take you to Seattle from Chicago. Now, what she's supposed to do once she gets there is anybody's guess, right? What is she's
in
a kid.
Nightgown.
100%.
In a nightgown. Why didn't she just go to her mother's house or something?
Who's super rich? She comes from a rich family, and for some reason, it's just like I'm stranded. I don't know what to do. My mom's in Paris. It's like less than zero or something, where you're just stranded by your wealthy parents. That's what it is.
As long as she doesn't put the cigarette in the corpse's mouth at the very end.
One can only hope.
That's in the book. That's in the book Less Than Zero.
Oh God, I read that book. That book is not a great book, if I'm being honest.
It's very upsetting. All his books are upsetting as shit.
It's upsetting, but it's kind of like just sad vignettes. You know what I mean? There isn't like a central plot that carries it through. It's just like, oh damn,
you really don't like any of them.
No. It's
Dude,
rich
you know
kids.
What it is? It's a fake Great Gatsby for the 80s.
It's just like that. It's F. Scott Fitzgerald would say that himself.
I'm telling you. It's a lost generation. It's the lost Hollywood generation. The children of the wealthy.
Of the obscenely wealthy. Where all they have time to do is like sit around all day doing cocaine and lamenting their existence. It's a sad situation.
Yeah. Effing each other and being depressed and trying to pull off themselves.
Anywho, so Kirk Douglas brings Amy Irving to the house where they're keeping Andrew Stevens. Now we're starting to see Andrew Stevens, who evidently in the last 11 months has been turned into a stone cold psychopath, where he has no feelings.
No explanation how this happened.
100%.
We have no idea what they're doing, what has been going on in his life. He was a boy wrestling with oil with his dad one minute.
Maybe that's what did
the next minute, he's killing OPEC members.
He is. Well, and that's the thing. It's like because
he got into a fight with his girlfriend. He's insanely jealous.
He's insanely jealous. She's taking too long to get ready, all sorts of shit. So they go to the mall, the indoor mall that has a carnival inside. He sees these Saudis in full Saudi gear, and it reminds him about how they men dressed as Saudis tried to murder his father, or succeeded as far as he knows. So he immediately uses his psychic powers to cause the Tilt-A-Whirl to go super fast and disengage, sending the carts crashing into the nearby restaurant with the vein throbbing in his forehead while he does it. So
I thought the pineal gland was going to pop right out at any
it
minute.
seemed like it. 100%.
Let's be clear, there was like 4 Saudis. Everybody else is just Chicago Americans that all spun out into the outer space.
No question. He killed a bunch of
Another
randos.
reason not to go. Yes.
Another reason not to go to Chicago. Is that what you were going to say? The deadliest place on earth.
Not to go to Carney's.
Oh,
Exactly. I was like, I've never seen carny rides indoors, but
no.
we live in a place with better weather.
I guess I was looking this up, and that only was open like that for like 5 years, and then for whatever reason they closed it and they tore down the whole building in like '86. Like there's not even any evidence that that place ever existed again.
I mean, how many times are you going to go on the Tilt-A-Whirl?
Well,
It's not like Disneyland.
if Andrew Stevens there, you're lucky if you're going once. At that, after that, you're squished all over the place. So Kirk Douglas goes and invades this place, is captured instantly, trying to drag his old ass over the wall, essentially, which makes sense, 100%. Andrew Stevens locks in on Amy Irving.
Makes sense.
That's the one
But not
thing.
that his father's there. Locks in on Amy Irving.
Locks in on Amy Irving and instead of being like, oh, hey, there's someone just like me, he gets insanely jealous because he's convinced that she is there to replace him. Which, who knows if that's the case? Go ahead.
So what makes no sense is Amy Irving is telling the story that he's sending her pictures. That she has this sense and this feeling. He has none of that. So she's just leeching the stuff off of him. He doesn't know who she is, doesn't know that she's looking for him until she's literally on the grounds there, and he wants to destroy her because he's just jealous and unstable.
He's jealous because they've turned him through brainwashing into a psychopath. So, which is crazy. He should be able to read the doctor's mind, right? And discover you don't need, or maybe read the doctor's mind and be like, shit, they're using me and abusing me, but something along those lines. Instead, his powers don't work that way, evidently. So none of it makes any sense.
It's like he's not psychic. He's not psychic. That he just has like the telekinesis stuff.
Right. That's the way it seems. 100%.
She's got both sides of it. She can make things happen and she can read things.
Yeah. See, when you put it that way, you're absolutely right. It seems like he isn't able to read minds because he doesn't know that John Cassavetes set up his father to be killed.
Is bad.
Doesn't know his dad is alive. Or that
his father's nearby.
Right.
Right.
And when he sees his dad, could give a shit. Could give a Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Doesn't care. Not happy. Hey, Dad, thought you were dead.
I'm going to scratch
Dad
you.
Just lying to him again. I'm going to scratch you good.
I'll go scratch you.
Effing sense.
So.
I mean, what was that about?
Okay.
I'm going to get you, Daddy.
I will get you. So, Andrew Stevens gets jealous of his doctor pseudo-girlfriend who's been manipulating him, uses psychic powers, raises her up in the air, and spins her around until, I don't know what happens, she dies from the G-forces. Who's to say? Pops like a grape.
I can do that now because I don't love you no more.
Kirk Douglas they're like, hey, your son's got fucking nuts. We don't know what to do with him. Why don't you go up, prisoner? You can go up and deal with him now. Yeah. Take a gun while you're out.
He's right up there. Go get him.
Help yourself. 100%. He goes up there, sees his son sees him, and Andrew Stevens attacks him. They both go flying out the window, about to fall off the roof. Go ahead.
the weirdest thing is Amy Irving blames Kirk Douglas for letting his son fall. I'm like, he's hanging by a thread, and Andrew like digs his claws into his face, and he's
No
still
sense.
trying to hang on it, and then she's like screaming at him, "You killed him!" I'm like, what?
They're hanging off the edge of the roof. Kirk Douglas is on the roof holding Andrew Stevens by the arm, trying to save him. Andrew Stevens has no self-preservation instinct at all, and for no reason reaches up, scratches Kirk Douglas, which Kirk Douglas goes, ow, and drops his ass 4 stories to the cobblestones below, and he's like, ah! They're like, oh, he's dead. Kirk Douglas goes like, well,
what are the odds that they both die? I feel it's only 4 stories.
4 stories.
You're not going to feel good. It's high, but do you both die? I don't know.
Well, the way Kirk Douglas did it was literally just to roll off the roof at that point. Maybe he's leading with the skull. I don't know. It's hard to say. So they both hit the deck. Amy Irving goes up and like makes eye contact with Andrew Stevens and gets the blue eye, which is not explained. What does that mean? No. What does that do? Unclear. No. Next morning, she's in a fancy bed. John Cassavetes and his Jimmy Arms show up and try to sweet talk her, and she promptly blows him up. in pure Fulci fashion, scanners, he explodes from every angle. And like so much so, it looked like,
dude,
like some beans.
You see the severed head flying up and falling down.
100%. He looked like
literally he exploded 12 times.
12 times. Bang, 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 bang. It looked like he was filled with beans or something. If you watch it close, it's like some kind of just weird gravel or something comes shooting out of the mannequin.
It is the musical fruit.
It is. And she's got crazy blue eyes. Credits roll. End of the movie. What the f***?
I guess she gets on that bus for Seattle after that. Does she just live in John Cassavetes' house?
That's it. That's all you can do at that stage of the game. Sweet Jesus. What else you got? Anything? I've gone through the entire plot now.
Oh, we forgot to mention the part she gets out of bed, goes up to him like she's trying to seduce him, and kisses his eyes out. Sucks him out like grapes. Pluck them out.
Pluck it out. No eyes. One arm. He's in bad shape. At that point, he was begging to explode. It's a sad situation. Oh, God help us all.
Aye.
Shall we go behind the scenes?
Just an odd. Hang on. Just an odd comment. When she was at her private school before she went to go live with Professor X, they were doing biofeedback. I literally had a biofeedback class in college, part of my psychology degree.
Were you able to move a train with just your mind?
No, but you had to go in this room. You had to put all these implants all over you, and you were trying to control your heartbeat and your respiration, and there were all these activities you were supposed to do. Like I said, it was all the rage, friend.
How'd it work for you? Were you able to slow your heartbeat and all that shit?
It always depends. The more you do it, the easier it is to do it. It's like it's like meditation. If you've ever done any of that stuff, or you do the thing where you like tighten your toes and release it, then you tighten your calves and release it. All those things to slowly you work your way up. The more you do it, the easier it is to do it. And also it helps if you're in a dark room in an easy chair versus children are just screaming at you throughout the day. It's hard to really get that heart rate back down.
Fair. That makes perfect sense to me.
In a controlled environment, it's amazing.
But it's not ESP or clairvoyance or psychokinesis or anything. It's just basically meditation.
Sadly. College of the Redwoods did not have that as an elective.
It's a sad situation. Let's go behind the scenes, shall we?
So sad. Let's go.
The scene when agents chase Kirk Douglas from his hotel room is the same hotel and room filmed in the Blues Brothers. How about that?
I didn't really care for the Blues Brothers, so I don't really remember that at all.
Hot take, I didn't care for it either. I kept saying, is this a comedy? When I watched it. A big big star like Kirk Douglas was cast as the lead in this film because director Brian De Palma had felt that his previous picture, Carrie, had suffered at the box office without a name draw card.
No, that's a lie.
That's a lie? Okay, fair.
That's a lie. First of all, Carrie was perfect. Carrie was perfect.
Perfect in every way.
And would be Brian De Palma's greatest film. Not this.
Not Dressed to Kill, not Body Double.
I mean, those are definitely better than this. There's so much wasted time. Wouldn't you have rather seen what the hell's going on with Andrew Stevens? Watch him become a psycho, from like a sweet boy to a psycho? Or would you like to see Kirk Douglas dancing around some more?
100%.
Making sweet, sweet love in a Chevy van to a 19-year-old.
That's the last thing I wanted to see. That was the truly, if you want to have the top 100 most disturbing scenes, it's Kirk Douglas shirtless with a woman 45 years younger than him. 100%. Nightmare. Oh, God help us all. John Williams music, because John Williams did the score for this, shockingly.
I did see that. He sold his soul.
He 100% did. It was composed in the style of Bernard Herrmann's score from an Alfred Hitchcock movie. So there you go. How about that?
Yeah. I saw the name and then I didn't notice the music at all. Like, it was forgettable.
Totally was. The character Cheryl, that was the mean chick with the glasses, the mean girl. Her dialogue was dubbed by Betty Buckley.
Oh, I like Betty Buckley, who was also in Carrie. Why did they dub her?
They just didn't like her performance. It's a sad situation. Yeah.
I tried to look her up because she looked really familiar, but honestly, I think she might have been in Piranha too.
Actress Fiona Lewis, who played the evil female doctor who was having the affair with the 14-year-old, said that John Cassavetes was wonderful to work with. He was very cool, the coolest, maybe the coolest man I ever met in my life. Not fake cool, real cool. He was great. How about that?
Dude, he has real vibe. He is considered, just to talk about John Cassavetes.
Please.
It's Cassavetes, right?
Correct.
So on my flight back, there was Apple TV, so I watched the Scorsese documentary. John Cassavetes was his mentor. Mm-hmm. That he was there every step of the way. Besides his acting, he's like an independent director, filmmaker that is beloved.
100%.
I mean, quite frankly, this is kind of a shitty role for him, but he's still John Cassavetes. I mean, nothing beats his role in Rosemary's Baby, which is nuanced and amazing. You just want to fucking kill him.
100%.
You can just see the guilt and the conflict, and he's a psychopath. Oh my God. He's so good.
John Cassavetes thought this film was garbage and made fun of Amy Irving for treating it like Shakespeare. He joked to another actor, "You think 100%. She was playing Joan of Arc."
It was garbage, and it is garbage. Let's be straight.
Fiona Lewis said that she thought the script was stupid and didn't want to take the role, but her manager talked her into it, thinking it would help her career. It didn't.
I love it. Everybody thought it was shit, and it was, except for Brian De Palma. It makes no fucking sense. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
And Andrew Stevens was a hot shit at this time. He was in every miniseries during the bicentennial. He was everywhere, and then he wasn't.
Brian De
He was
Palma
in
said,
all the teeny bopper magazines.
100%. Brian De Palma said this film was not one of his favorite films he directed. Good stuff. Let's see.
I mean, it reeks of 78. It smells like a film from 1978. A bunch of nonsense.
Fair.
Some psychic ability. I mean, yeah. It is of its time, that's for sure.
Let's look at the cast and crew, shall we?
I thought we already did. Let's
Sadly. go. Director Brian De Palma. You know him from such things as Phantom of the Paradise, 1974, Body Double, 1984, Dressed to Kill, 1980.
God, I always forget he did Phantom of the Paradise.
And
it keeps popping up on my feed. I'm like, no!
And Bonfire of the Vanities in 1990.
Never. Oh, yeah, I did see it. I was like, never saw it. Yes, I did.
Thumbs down.
Terrible.
Kirk Douglas played Peter. You know him from such things as Ace in the Hole in 1951. You know that one?
Unfamiliar.
The Final Countdown.
He came on my radar with... No, he came on my radar with 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea because I was in love with James Mason and I thought his character was such an asshole. Kirk Douglas. I thought he was an asshole.
So you're rooting for Captain Nemo is what you're saying.
I felt sorry for Captain Nemo and this guy, they rescue him and he's a fucking dick.
Fair.
And he's saying whale of a tale. It's a whale of a tale to tell you that a whale of a tale or two.
He was in Spartacus in 1960 and Lust for Life in 1956.
I keep meaning to see Lust for Life. It's about Vincent van Gogh, but I never have.
John Cassavetes.
I don't think of Vincent van Gogh as Right Around Naked, but maybe this version is good. Or is Lust for Life about...
No, you're right.
Was it Van Gogh or was it the other dude? All right.
Anthony Quinn was in it playing Gauguin, but it was about Van Gogh.
Okay.
How about that?
Anthony Quinn, yeah. Gauguin was a bit of a lecherous character. That makes good sense. Maybe
John Cassavetes played Rosemary's Baby, 1968.
Hell yeah.
And a bunch of crazy shit. Love Streams in 1984.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff I haven't seen.
A Woman Under the... Love Streams in 84.
Under the Influence.
A Woman Under the Influence, 1974. Opening Night, 1977. Carrie Snodgrass played Hester, the sympathetic nurse who gets run over. You know her from Diary of a Mad Housewife in 1970. Pale Rider with Clint Eastwood in 1985.
I'm not sure I saw that.
Charles Bronson's Murphy's Law in 1986 and Wild Things in 1998.
What's Wild Things?
That's kind of the sex kind of a crime thing with Matt Dillon and Denise Richards and who else did that? Kevin Bacon and list goes on and on.
Right.
Charles Durning, who we didn't even talk about, plays Dr. McKeever, the sympathetic guy, Professor X, if you will.
It's Professor X.
You know
he was
him
so young.
And kind of thin.
So young.
Kind of thin in this one compared to how he usually looks. Thin for him. 100%. He was in Dog Day Afternoon in 1975.
I did see that.
Final Countdown in 1980. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou in 2000.
Yes. You know, I love that movie.
And he was playing Doc Hopper in the Muppet movie, which I need to go back
That's
on.
right. It's a classic.
He was in a ton of shit, no question.
Wasn't he in a Halloween? Or I'm thinking of somebody else.
He was not in Halloween. He should have been, though, for God's sakes.
Should have been. It's not. It might be too late now.
Amy Irving played Gillian, the poor psychic girl. You know her in Traffic in 2000. She was in Carrie in 1976, one of your favorites.
Yes.
She was in something called Adam in 2009 and Crossing Delancey in 1988.
Dude, that's the one. Her two triumphant roles, Carrie and Crossing Delancey. I love. I own it. When I got rid of all my DVDs, I kept that.
That's the one that survived the purge
with the pickle man. Oh my god, I love it.
Andrew Stevens played Robin, the young psychic boy who becomes a deranged maniac.
In the 70s, boys were named Robin.
Yeah, it was a thing. Let's see. As I'm just gonna look at his acting credits because they're trying to tell me all the stuff he did as a producer.
I saw a picture of him now, and he looks really good at 70.
For reals. Okay, here it goes.
He's Stella Stevenson.
You said that to me last time, and that was just not true. By the way, that is
no. That was about Parker Stevenson. That was about Parker Stevenson. I looked it up this time. His mother is Stella Stevens, who is also married to Eddie Fisher, I think, at one time. Carrie Fisher's father.
I think she was also married to Paul Ansari, the Lebanese actor who always played Native American, if I'm remembering this correctly, but maybe not.
Dude,
maybe I'm making up stuff.
She worked around. She was here. She was there. She was everywhere.
She was every goddamn where. You know Andrew Stevens from The Fury in 1978. He was in something called 10 to Midnight with Charles Bronson in 1983. He was in 2 episodes of The Love Boat. By the late 80s, he started to do some different things, including Night Eyes, which you might have seen on the Cinemax network. How about that? He was in all the Night Eyes movies, actually. Good stuff. I think that's about it. Why don't we look at the ratings, shall we?
Let's go.
The Fury.
And I was wrong. She was not. She was not married to
Stella Stevens.
Eddie Fisher.
Who was she married to?
Yeah.
She was Foxy back in the day.
Andrew Stevens' father got divorced in the 50s, and then she had a long-term relationship with some rock guy.
Fair.
And then she died in 23. She's tiny, like 5'5".
What do you think is the titular Fury in the movie The Fury?
The Fury is the rage that they put into Andrew Stevens. Or is it sexual abuse? I don't know. What do you think the Fury is?
6 1 1/2 dozen of the other. I looked it up, and they said essentially it's the psychic energy is called the Fury. It's like The Shining.
Oh, is that the smoke in the bedroom? Is that what that is?
The smoke in the bedroom. That's what it is.
Oh,
in the bedroom. It is. It is. The Fury currently has on Rotten Tomatoes 79% fresh.
Dude, that is freaking high. Who would have thunk it?
Do you know what the audience gave it?
68.
50% rotten.
Interesting. All right, what's Doherty gonna say? Let me see.
Well, let's look at the top critics here. Wait, it's not your turn
all
yet.
All right, look at the top critics.
Top critics, we've got Pauline Kael of The New Yorker says, there's an ecstatic element in Brian De Palma's new thriller, The Fury. He seems to extend the effects he's playing with about as far as he can without losing control. How about that? Okay.
I can't
Roger-
tell. I can't tell. Does she like it? She doesn't like it. What
That's a
the hell does
positive
that
review.
mean?
Positive review.
All right. All right.
Roger Ebert. 3 out of 4. Brian De Palma's The Fury is a stylish entertainment, fast-paced, and actor with great energy.
What do you think's happening here? Were people less discerning, or were they all on drugs in the 70s? So
I think it's column
what
A
is
and column
happening
B.
here? What is the disconnect? Because I know there were good movies in the 70s. And yet here are two famous people,
Mhm.
writing for real publications who have given this a positive review. Kickbacks, Payola,
It's got to be
sold their
Payola.
soul for rock and roll.
Rock
Dude.
and rolla. One thing I wanted to say before I go into our own personal top critic, AI Rex Reed.
Yes.
I read somewhere that there's the scene where they lift up the doctor and she's kind of whipping around and blood is flying everywhere. Initially,
Yeah.
they really used the actress to do that. And they did multiple takes, and she kept getting injured because they kept dropping her. She'd spin and then flop on the floor. They made her do take after take until she finally refused. At which point, De Palma turned to Rick Baker and said, "You know what? Why don't we get out that mannequin that we have for this scene?" And
You fucker.
she almost murdered them both on the scene.
Yeah.
So,
As she should have.
you're right. Nauseated and bruised, and we have a
Yeah.
Fako mannequin.
That would have just been a stream of vomit against the walls.
100%.
Dude.
Okay. On that note, AI Rex Reed has this to say. The
All right.
Fury, The Fury is Brian De Palma at his most hysterical. A telekinetic tantrum where exploding heads and slow motion shrieking try to pass for art, leaving even Kirk Douglas looking like he wandered into the wrong fever dream. How about
That
that?
was a little bit more accurate, I have to say. Thank you, AI Rex Reed.
He knows. He is never wrong. Aaron, what is your rating for The Fury?
I mean, part of me likes, the vibe and the aesthetic because it just reeks of its time. But at the same time, I fell asleep. I don't normally fall asleep. I was like gonna have to do the Malcolm McDowell toothpicks to hold my eyes open because the beginning is so freaking boring. Did no one read the script? That is my question. So because of that, I gotta give it like, I don't know, a 2.75.
I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm conflicted.
I would watch it if you're really into Brian De Palma, but why would you be really into Brian De Palma? I would watch it just for the weirdness and all the cameos, but just be prepared. It's not very good.
Right. I agree. It's a lot of, honestly, there were boring scenes. I have the most fun scene was when Kirk Douglas hijacks the undercover police car with Dennis Franz in it. I could have watched that a little longer. The rest of it was nonsense.
That could be part 2.
100%.
Ride Along. That's the new Ride Along.
In my mind, it was a lot more Andrew Stevens doing scary shit. But that was, I guess, was supposed to be I thought it was supposed to be the twist, evidently, where it was like, oh shit, I've rescued my son and he's now insane. I think was meant to be the case, but it was just boring.
And that might have been a good movie.
Yeah, fair.
But you didn't read the book.
No, didn't read it. And evidently, like I said, there's more disturbing things where it's obvious these kids are 14 and there's a lot of sexual stuff going on with the 14-year-olds. So that's not great.
That's what I mean, really, either they were meant to be together or it turns out they were twins. That would have been a better story. Like it's revealed that Kirk Douglas adopted Andrew Stevens.
Oh, maybe.
And he didn't realize that he had a twin sister. Now that's something.
Well, and it also was like, evidently they hadn't lived in the United States since Andrew Stevens was born, and Andrew Stevens just has a normal American accent, even though they're living abroad. None of it makes any
Yeah.
sense. It's nonsense.
No.
So, I'd give it like 2.25 if I'm feeling generous. 2.25. It's not something I need to see again. I'm good with this.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
any last thoughts on The Fury?
Nope, my brain is already starting to release it. No information will stay in my brain. It's drifting off into the foggy stratosphere with John Cassavetes' dead arm and his eyes that got sucked out by Amy Irving.
Well, you said you fell asleep. I tried to fall asleep and I couldn't. It was very upsetting. So anyway, it was the fury inside
oh,
me.
Shit. It's like I fell out once and I felt like I was still in about the same scene, and then I kind of woke up a little bit for the rest.
Yeah.
But I was
sad
shit.
situation. So thank you
Exactly.
very much. We are across the social media landscape. We're on I don't even know what we're on. We're on Instagram, TikTok,
This and that. Truth Social.
Truth Social, Parlay, QAnon, 4chan. We're on Blue Sky and Threads. You can also watch us on YouTube if you'd like to see our smiling faces. Ooh la la.
You should, because I just put on lipstick. So absolutely. YouTube.
Absolutely. You can also email us the podcast that wouldn't die at Gmail.
Gmail.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review. Won't you?
Won't you please?
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
I supposedly run the TikTok for the podcast.
Allegedly.
I am allegedly. I can't testify to it in court. I am on the Instagram. I am the Cultivaran. I am also the Cultivaran on Flickr. I have artwork on Artsy and First Dibs. Check it out.
Check out all that good stuff. Now, at this time, we like to normally check in with our friends and family across the social media landscape. Aaron, what are the streets saying?
The streets are saying you can't read comments when you don't actually post anything. So Aaron should get posting about Armageddon.
You used to make it up and say Hester Prynne and Agatha Brickrock had this to say. Not this week, evidently. Very upsetting.
Dude, I love Hester Prynne and Agatha Brickrock. What was Agatha Brickrock? Was that from the Flintstones?
Who even knows? Who even knows? Sweet
Dude,
Jesus.
Here's just a question.
Please.
Tintin. Did anyone in America ever read Tintin?
Absolutely not. Does that answer your question?
No. Huge in Europe. Never. I was in Europe. Tintin was everywhere. I took pictures of giant Tintin heads in storefronts, and I thought, I know nothing about this boy and the dog.
Well, here's the thing. You know about Pippi Longstocking, don't you? Did you know that she, the author of Pippi Longstocking, wrote another series of books that are very popular in Sweden called, like, I think in English are called like Billy Bergson or something, and it never came over to the United States as far as I know. So only Pippi.
How about this? Are you familiar with A Dog of Flanders?
Never heard of it. How about that?
So when I was in Flanders, I heard the title. I didn't know anything about it, but it was about a poor boy and his dog that were looking for shelter, and the boy's dream was he could see this one perfect picture, and it was in a church, and he was freezing, and he asked if he could go in, and they said no, but he snuck in and he saw it and froze to death in the church with his dog. That's a beautiful, beautiful story. I was like, what the is going on?
It's a knee slapper in the original Flemish, evidently.
I was like, honestly, I only wish I could have read my children to sleep with these tales.
Don't
It's
ask.
big in Japan because
Big
he was
in
like a
Japan.
ninja. He had one goal and he completed it and was able to then die because he had his one goal. And I was like, oh my God.
Don't ask
I've
how the
never
Little
heard the
Mermaid
story.
ends, by the way. And
No, I know how the Little Mermaid ends.
it's not singing songs.
It's
and
all bad. All the old fairy tales were Disney-fied. They all had terrible endings. I told you
Anywho.
I saw this podcast, and it's all about what changed with fairy tales. And what happened, it created this really, by trying to make it positive, it really created this great darkness because the fairy tales was random. You could be good and bad things happen. You could be
Right.
bad and good things happen. But when it was Disney-fied, good things always happen to good people. So when you grow up hearing that and good things are not happening to you, no matter how good you try to be as a kid, now you have this darkness. When in reality, life is random.
Fair. And on that cheery note, next week, we're discussing the horror classic Slugs. And you may
Which
ask yourself,
I swear to you, I've never heard of this in my life. Is this make-believe?
This is real. People are dying mysteriously and gruesomely, and nobody has a clue what's caused it. Spoiler alert, it's slugs. It's from 1988. How do you watch Slugs,
88.
you ask? It's a classic. You can watch it on Prime Video with subscription. Ooh la la. Let's see, Tubi, Roku. List goes on. And Shout Factory with subscription. You can rent it on YouTube for $4.99, but why? And you can even buy it on Prime Video for $7.99. I don't think I'm going to do that, if I'm being honest.
Are you sure? Could be your new favorite film.
We're going to talk about this on our show, and we're going to be guests on the Podcast in the Woods podcast to discuss Slugs as well. So check out that.
That sounds terrifying. Slugs at the Podcast in the Woods.
There it is. So buckle up. Now, send in any favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and we may talk about it on the show. So thank you very much, and be well.
Bye, kids.